Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. So we have KORDAN out on the VN server with this full skill information. We're gonna break it down. However, the overview about KORDAN is he seems like he may be a buffer for pre-Endless Dream Realm specifically. In Endless, I don't think he's going to be good enough. That is my overall opinion right now. But PvP, there's definitely usage as well. If you see it here, he begins with 1000 initial energy, being able to immediately cast his ultimate as soon as he can run up in range of an enemy target, because it is a one tile range. That is kind of the only limitation. But yeah, okay, so his ultimate is Dominance Ring. When casting the skill, KORDAN raises his blade and challenges one enemy within one tile, immobilizing them for 5 seconds. At the same time, he summons a hunting circle around him and his target, dealing damage to all enemies within the circle and knocking back other ranged enemies out of the circle. The hunting circle will stay active for 16 seconds, which is a long duration. All units within the hunting circle take 60% less damage and healing from any outside source. Meanwhile, allied units within the circle gain 20%, and this will go up to 36% attack, 40 life drain, and deal 20% more damage, which will also go up with ultimate power. So he has an attack buff of 36% to allies within his circle, but keep in mind his circle is going to be a pretty limited range, maybe like only one tile around him, or around the center of the circle. And so mainly melee heroes, or heroes who are going to be teleported into melee range, like with the Rainier. And also this damage amplification of 20% damage boost, basically. So when we look at this, he could be a good buffer for melee heroes, or for heroes position swap with Rainier. Basically, that is going to be the way to use him. And so for pre-Endless Dream Realm, you usually use Rainier in almost every team, because Rainier's debuff is going to increase the damage that the boss takes, which is very valuable for pre-Endless Dream Realm. And you're going to see Rainier a lot and Shimura a lot. And so I could definitely see Rainier swapping Shimura into the hunting circle of KORDAN, and then Shimura getting these buffs of pretty high attack buff and then also damage amplification. Then there's a lot of value there. Or if you're using some other form of basically melee hero who's going to run up to the front line to get into the hunting circle, which as of right now, there aren't the greatest, melee damage dealers for Dream Realm, and specifically for Endless Dream Realm. That's why I don't think he's going to be having much usage. You have Mahira, you have Alicet, you have Gala. All of these heroes are ranged. They are not going to ever enter KORDAN's hunting circle. They're never going to get the benefit of these buffs. And so that is a major problem, right? Just like how Shakira has kind of fallen out of the meta, even though Shakira can offer some really nice buffs to allies in melee range up front, there are just not that many good melee heroes, and especially for Endless Dream Realm. However, KORDAN plus Baelran, potentially there's some synergy there. But overall, KORDAN, I can pretty safely say is going to have usage for pre-Endless Dream Realm. I don't know how dominant, of course, because this is just all a prediction based on his kit. But the buffs seem to be high enough, like 36% attack buff. You have the 20% damage amplification. That is big. What is awkward is that his ultimate power is going to give him more buffs, more buffing value. But the problem is, if he's mainly a pre-Endless hero, you're never going to ever have his mythic charms in time to actually be usable in pre-Endless. And the other point is that damage amplification, like dealing 20% bonus damage, sometimes this doesn't apply to HP loss damage. I'm not even sure exactly what applies, what doesn't apply. We know for a fact that Rainier's debuff, which is basically also a damage amplification type effect, causing the enemy to receive more damage, that does not apply to HP loss damage. And that is the reason why in Endless meta you do not see Rainier at all, because he has that damage amplification by debuffing the enemy boss. So this damage amplification, I don't even know if it applies to HP loss damage. I can't say for sure certain that it doesn't, because there have been some reports of people saying execution applies to HP loss damage, and execution also is a damage amplification source, right? Boosting damage dealt. So I don't know exactly if this is going to apply to Endless HP loss damage or not, but what we know for a fact is that in Endless meta, they're not going to be melee heroes. They're not going to be Rainier to position swap heroes into the front line. So how are you going to get value out of this for endless. That's basically the thing. For Dauntless Squad, Ravage Rom, almost definitely he's going to see usage. He's kind of like that buffing hero, like Shakira, like Mikola, melee buffing oriented hero. He probably definitely is going to see usage. And for PvP, it's just really interesting to be able to have 1000 energy and immediately cast his ult in the fight. And this is a massive thing for PvP. 60% less damage taken and healing from outside sources, and then also high attack buff, really high life drain buff, and also damage amplification buff. Really value in 16 seconds duration of each of his hunting circles. That's plenty of time for him to charge up energy to cast another one. So really strong. His other skill, Fury Slash, this is going to be 8-second cooldown, initial cooldown of 3. KORDAN charges up briefly before unleashing a sweeping slash, dealing 460% damage to an enemy. He also gains a shield equal to 100% of the damage dealt, plus an additional 300% attack. Shield lasts 15 seconds. So this is good for his like bruiser abilities in PvP, just to have a pretty big shield and some damage, sweeping damage. So that's interesting. Sundering Strike is 10-second cooldown, initial cooldown of 3. KORDAN leaves high slamming his blade down on the enemy to deal 500% damage, again a high damage multiplier, and knock them down. But it does seem to be only a single target, especially also from the skill trailer. So it's not going to be massive crowd control, just single target crowd control. But again, high damage that you have here. Hero Focus increases 20% attack during battle, which is good to power him up further. And his exclusive skill is really important, Rage Unleashed. When KORDAN achieves his first assist or defeat of a non-summon enemy within the hunting circle, or after he has fought inside the circle for 20 seconds, his Fierce Slash and Sundering Strike become enhanced. So this is you can get value out of this even in boss content, because after 20 seconds of remaining in his hunting circle fighting, he's going to enhance automatically, even without getting an assist or defeat. So you don't need an assist or defeat. But in PvP, if you get an assist or defeat earlier of an enemy within the hunting circle, then he's going to get the value out of this as well. So in PvP, probably you do want to pair him with other strong melee damage dealer nukers who can get a kill on an enemy melee hero in his hunting circle to power him up. And then he's going to have enhanced Fury Slash and enhanced Sundering Strike, which are going to be these two abilities that we just read. So Fury Slash will deal extra damage equal to 30% of the target's lost health, up to 600% attack multiplier. Which is, I mean, all things considered, he's going to have some pretty heavy damage on his Fury Slash. And this is actually a sweep attack. It isn't just one single target, anyone within melee range. And then Enhanced Sundering Strike allows KORDAN to also knock his target into the air, increasing the duration of the subsequent knockdown for 2 seconds and dealing 300% extra damage. So more damage, more crowd control. But onto one single target. Increases the extra, and so level 2 increases the extra damage dealt by Fury Slash at 35% of target's lost health, up to 700% attack multiplier. Also increases the extra damage by Sundering Strike to 350%. And then level 3, each assist or defeat KORDAN achieves against a non-summoned enemy inside the hunting circle. So this is mainly PvP. Permanently increases his physical and magic defense by 40%, stacking up to 3 times. Each assist or defeat also restores 15% of his maximum health every second for 3 seconds. So the health restoration is really interesting, because 15% of max health every second for 3 seconds, that's 45% health total over 3 seconds. That's rapid healing, pretty rapid healing. And he also has life drain from being in the hunting circle. And the defensive buffs, I don't know how I feel about the defensive buffs, because eventually there's going to be like, you know, diminishing scales of return of having your higher and higher defenses. Eventually it doesn't have that much value. So I don't know. I would have really preferred if there was a more like offensive stack that he would gain. Like, you know, Harok doesn't just become tankier and have more health and defenses. He also has more attack, right? So he's more of a kill threat after getting assist or defeat. I really would have liked if KORDAN would have gone in a more offensive threat after he got an assist or defeat stack, but he's just really getting defensive stacks, which is just awkward and weird. Like, obviously it's going to make him bruiser better, and still is a good thing, but like, I think this could have been better if it gave him some offensive thing too. Level 4 increases extra damage dealt by Fury Slash of 40% of the target's lost health, or up to 800% attack. Also increases the extra damage dealt by Sundering Strike to 400%. So overall, KORDAN really is a beast for PvP. I'm really thinking that, especially paired with Alna for that protection and also reducing the range of enemy heroes, forcing them to come more into melee range so he can hit them with the sweep attack and things like that, or they enter his hunting circle. I think there's a lot of value there. KORDAN Alna combo does seem to be having a lot of synergy. Apart from that, just, you know, KORDAN with other melee heroes, whether it be Harok, whether it be Lenya, all probably you're gonna want to have Alna as well in the team. But there's some definitely strategies there, and really interesting. And even to be like a buffer for Perseus if they can both enter the same position. It's just the awkward thing about KORDAN is that it's a really kind of short, it's a small radius, right? It's really literally going to be the center of the hunting circle and then probably one tile around that. So it's really a confined area, and if your allies like run out of that area, it's just going to be not getting the value, right? It's hard to force everyone into that hunting circle, which is kind of the issue I see. Then his enhanced force, whenever Corden assists or defeat an enemy inside the hunting circle, he leaps to a new target and moves the circle to his new position. Repositioning the circle extends its duration by 10 seconds. All allies within the circle also gain 50 penetration. So this is also really strong. So just more value. 50 penetration for your allies within the circle. That's massive. It's like basically as much as the Alicet buff, which is only buffing up one of your allies and onto one enemy target. This 50 penetration is for all allies within the circle onto all enemies. And then repositioning the circle extends the duration by 10 seconds. And he immediately leaps to a new target after he gets assist or defeat. So definitely this is a nice Supreme Plus skill. Mainly geared towards, well, it also has some Dream Realm use, the penetration. But penetration again is a stat, which really is only going to be that useful for pre-endless. For endless Dream Realm, like penetration does nothing for HP loss damage. So overall, if we have to summarize Corden, I think pre-endless Dream Realm, he's going to have usage, especially Rainier position swapping Shamira into the hunting circle of Corden. I think that's probably going to be a major strategy in the next season, pre-endless Dream Realm. For Endless Dream Realm, I just don't know. It's really hard because a lot of HP loss damage healers are not melee. Baleran is really the only one, which is a melee HP loss damage healer, which who knows if there's going to be enough synergy to make, Corden and Baleran both potentially meta. For Dream Realm, Endless. For Dauntless Squad, Ravage Realm, probably definitely going to have usage. And overall, just looking like a solid hero. I think that it is a hero worth investing into. Definitely, in my opinion, for the majority of players, I would say he is the best A-level hero of this season, because the other A-levels have been really skippable or even low copy workable. So I think Corden is the best A-level this season. For PvP, he's really interesting. I think the immediate ultimate with the 1000 pre-fill energy and then a lot of value he has from his hunting circle in a melee comp. I think Corden plus Ulna is going to be a really good combination for PvP, and I'm really excited to test that out. So like for me, I am going to build Corden and I'm going to max Paragon upgrade him because I think he's going to be a PvP beast. That is my feeling right now. And but obviously for a more light spend or free-to-play player, you should wait and see, because we're going to have 21 days on his banner, and we're going to have plenty of time to see him in pre-Endless Dream Realm next season. We'll even see if he has any usage in Endless Dream Realm, because we have we have another bit remaining of the season. So we have actually a perfect opportunity to see Corden in Endless, Corden in Ravage Realm, Corden in pre-Endless. Most heroes don't get this opportunity on the rate-up banner. We're going to see all of that for Corden. And then you can decide at the end. So for like light spenders, free-to-play players, I would wait until near the end of his banner. We'll know much more about him from all of the different game modes, even pre-Endless Dream Realm, because VN server is going to be moving into the new season. And then we will decide, is he worth recruiting or not? But for right now, is mainly you can build him if you're the higher spender category. Yeah, because I do think he's definitely going to have some usage, even if it is a niche for Dream Realm, because there's a lot of value in his kit. So overall, let me know what you guys think about Corden. I overall think that he is a beast. Really interesting, and I think he's the best A-level of the season, but that isn't saying much. The A-levels of the season have been very lackluster and very underwhelming, honestly. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. You can also think about swap ticketing into him. That's another very viable strategy, like probably recommended. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts about Corden in the comment section. That is going to be it for this video. And if you think about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight store. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. My affiliate link is in the description of this video in a pinned comment. And you can actually bookmark this link in your browser. And whenever you're planning to make a purchase, just return to the bookmark link. Make your purchase. It will support me and be greatly appreciated. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.